Hello and welcome to my channel. This is where I get to talk about crypto projects. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Just to give you a little background about me, I've been following the crypto industry and investing in it since 2017. I started News Network back then, and we've been rolling ever since. Had a couple of groups I started in cryptocurrency. We wrote literature. We've been submerged in this industry since it started, and I always wanted to have a platform where I could talk about projects that I like, but people will take that as financial advice. So let me start off saying that I'm not a financial advisor, but I like to have, okay, my bird Phoenix, she just interrupted, and sometimes you'll probably hear my dog Blockchain. He's out eating right now. So sometimes I have an opinion about projects. Sometimes I'm excited about projects, and sometimes I want to talk about it, but I don't want to do it using a platform to where we already promised to just give the news. So I figure it would be good to start a YouTube channel where I could just talk about projects that I like, projects that I see from my perspective and my view, and my opinion from what I've saw over the years. I heard one guy say, oh yeah, there's groups you could get into where you can hear something from the guys that been in it since like 2017. And I'm like, wow, I'm one of them guys, but I don't know those groups that they're in. I've been involved with certain groups. I've listened to what they say, but it doesn't sound like they've been in the industry but so long. So I don't know what groups it is. So I said, well, maybe I just would like to just talk about my own experience. But when I watch certain projects, I know which ones have that it factor and which ones just not legit factor, so to speak, because a lot of crypto projects be coming out the woodworks and they don't be legit, and you get geeked up and you don't realize you didn't check the common things to make sure that it's solid. And one of the things I like about this project, I know you see it up on the screen, you should by now, ELROND, is you see the people that are involved. And you get the notion that, okay, when you background check or fact check their history, that they're not in it to get a quick pump and then dump. They don't have to be, so I see them being in it for the long haul, and they understand. And it's another thing that I've noticed in crypto. When we get to the point where it's breaking out, you get a whole lot of confusion. You get a whole lot of like what just happened with Ethereum. You had the congestion, the fees went crazy high. I myself was trying to do an NFT and the fees was ridiculous. And I was just like, man, I did it anyway. But then it was some jam ups. It was like it went through twice on one. It was crazy. And nothing you can do about it. But at the end of the day, that's blockchain. That's what we fell in love with. And I love it. Whatever situation has happened, hopefully. This is what I would love to see. We need to have a blockchain set up that's trustworthy, that's open source, that can actually mediate transactions between, retailers and business owners. Because at the end of the day, what if the transaction wasn't to your liking, it didn't go through? You don't want to have to worry about like a situation or a company where it's like, okay, and it's probably going to be something like PayPal. It's like that, like, the funds are safe just in case that the package is not what you expected or it gets delivered. It's going to be too much of that foolishness going on. So we need to have that type of company. It's probably going to be PayPal putting in something like that. So that way, as the consumer, you can always email, like, say, PayPal, and you can say, hey, this service wasn't right. And they'll investigate it and they'll say, oh, no, you got to go ahead and refund that. And they'll refund it because it got to be some security. But anyway, as I was saying, what I noticed over the years was projects will come up and they'll come up to like try to answer the question or the problem of what's going on in cryptocurrency for that particular time. Like say, okay, we hit the mark where we know it's starting to explode, and then congestion, then other platforms are down. And y'all know the ones, that always go down when the time that it seems like you need to be available. And I know it's because of their system. It's their technology. And it's like, I want another thing that I've understood in this rhythm. You have to follow the developers. That's like everybody in this game to get a Lambo or a new whatever house, or just to get out of debt or to save their life, whatever they in it for, they see the eye, they see the prize, and they see they can get it. And it's like, you got to understand how this rhythm goes. It starts with the developers. You see what I'm saying? Because if it's like this, if you have to want that house you particularly want, if you have to have it built, it starts with the builders. That car the Lambo, it starts with the builders. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't see that part. You're just looking at the finish mark. But look at the beginning mark. And when I looked and I saw a tweet that said that the amount of developers right under Bitcoin that's committed is ELROND, I said, well, you got to think. See, that puts me back in my construction mindset, because by trade, I'm a master electrician. I've been in construction my whole career, you know, contracting and things of that nature. So it says, okay, the builders are going to where they see a benefit. And they see a benefit with ELROND. And I was reading something about it. And let me tell you, this channel, I'm going to be honest, you know, the technical analysis and all of that stuff, those other guys are good for that. I always encourage everybody bringing out YouTube channels and everything. But I'm just speaking from my heart on what I feel about the industry. And that's why I'll be open to, you know, learn from anybody else. But when I see that, and I see that the builders are going to a particular place, that means when the issues arrive, they are there to answer it. And I've been in maintenance and construction. So it's like, without them, even though we don't get no recognition, but without us, everything will fall apart. And it's almost like, okay, you see that in the business. You see, you know, things just falling apart when it starts to hit a mass adoption. And everybody say they got the answer project. And then you see a project that's committed, that's backed by people you can fact check, that has their names on the line. That's more than money. You know, they're not in it for the money. I'm sure they're okay. Your name means more than anything else. And we're moving into a digital age, and nobody wants a bad name. So at the end of the day, I said, well, if I start a YouTube channel, I guess I would like to talk about crypto projects like the other guys. And maybe this will be fun. And then at the end, and then the reason why I really started this channel was I listened to this guy, TrainGenius, and he was saying on one of his videos, you need to start that today. And it's been on my mind to do. So I said, man, you know, I'm going to go ahead and start it and talk about the same things I talk to my friends about, the guys who've been in it with me since 17. And the name of the game is, it's hit or miss. You know, it's hit or miss. Some of these projects, you don't see them coming until they came already. And it's like, damn, you missed that one. In this business, or this industry, rather, you got to stay on top of everything. That's why I subscribe. That's why like and subscribe, you know, straight up, because I subscribe to everybody that's speaking about cryptocurrency, because I want to know something that you might have found out. Like, I'm into an industry that correlates with what I've been doing. Right out of the electrical industry, I jumped into the solar electrical industry. And that was crazy. I mean, I did it in Connecticut, Colorado, Maryland, Delaware, and mostly on Air Force bases. And it's like, I got a chance to get around the world and see what people, or get around the map and see what people do and how they do it and what's their conversations about and things of that nature. And it's like, you know, everybody's looking for that one that's going to go from a fraction of a penny to $600, you know, or more. And the one in a few who make it, they utilize every last thing they can. They never stay in the dark. So I think on this channel, I'm gonna cover ELROND, because I feel like it has everything that I used to look for when I'm looking to like pick a project, when I'm looking to say, okay, this could be the one. And I've been looking for the next Bitcoin since I missed the Bitcoin boat, because I feel like if you jumped on the Bitcoin boat, you got in it under $1,000. That's when you made the Bitcoin boat. And I got in after that. So at the end of the day, you know, 17, it was shooting up to $5,000 and things like that. So, you know, I mean, it was like, okay, boom, here's this 20 grand, and everybody went ballistic, and it was like all over the place. And it went from being an underground thing seemingly to it's all over now. And it's funny how many people didn't know about it. And I'm telling everybody about it back then. And then it's like, now we in 2021 and we are approaching what I've been seeing ever since then, that moment, that mass adoption moment. And the issue is technology. Soon as we get to that point, if you don't see, it starts to be congestion, confusion. And that's one thing you cannot have when you're dealing in finances. And the project that's going to succeed is the one that can answer the problems. The maintenance men, the construction workers, the people who building it. And the most developers right under Bitcoin is ELROND. That made me say, okay, this project is going to be what the world will need to use. You'll need to use it. It's more convenient. And it can handle the pressure. And it's like a Bitcoin because there's only 21 million of them, which that was one thing that triggered. The technology of it, being able to utilize it for any blockchain, that triggered. And then another thing that triggered was it was partnering with BiDAO, another project that I believe is going to go hard. I mean, it's going to go, man. When I look into that project and I look who's supporting it and who's backing it and what it can do, that's what makes me say, okay, you know what? I need to get involved with them and their partners. But I see where ELROND is going, and I'm going to follow the ELROND train to see if it mimics Bitcoin, if it's something like Bitcoin, but it definitely has the potential to be exactly what it says, EGLD. It has the potential to be known for gold. The transaction process is faster. The stability is more sound. The network is just picture capable, it's vast across worlds. So just picture it's easy for everybody to do. From phone number to phone number. Everybody could jump on board and utilize the blockchain. I think it will have its respective place as a Bitcoin or as the people's choice. And at the end of the day, it's really about what the people choose. Now, I honestly always see Bitcoin as being really what people call it to be, the gold, the real gold, because it's like, okay, nobody controls it. There's only a certain amount of it. Everybody's going to want some of that. You know what I mean? Something that's on that level. So I could see that, but I see this as being exactly what it's set up to do. Handle large masses. And let's just be, mathematical about that situation when you really put it all into perspective. If it's set up to handle large masses can pour in trillions into its market cap. Right now, it's stabilized at I see a 150 mark. Where do you think it's going once all of these developers that you see already committed grows and grows and grows? I see where they think it's going, and by right, they should. Like I said, I read something about the 30% royalty. Like the developer it should be like art. When you sell a piece of art as an NFT, if they resell it, you're allowed to get a royalty. That changes the game. That's perfect. Because a lot of artists not giving up because they can't break free from it. Now they're going to be able to. You know what I mean? So these are the things that's needed, and when a developer can be able to be compensated for that hard work that they do, the workers, the construction workers, the maintenance men, the people who make it all go every day. So when you log on, you comfortable, you good. You can say, okay, good, I'm still okay. And I believe that they see something, and I'm going to follow where they at just by default due to my background, not as a developer, but as being the one being in construction. It's always overlooked, But, and I like ELROND. And in some cases, I'll talk about some other projects. But when it comes to that one, like I got other projects that I believe in, Like MWatt, if you see what they're doing, that's big for the solar industry, big for the game that I was in construction. You know, Sun Contract too. You know, so I'll talk about other projects that I see that are, you know, have great potential. But for the most part, this channel, I will be ELROND warrior, because every last signal has hit on my radar, my detector, my everything that I've put into this industry as far as learning hours is concerned. They have already matched that. So at that point, I want to be an ELROND citizen with the ELROND economy on the ELROND blockchain. And I'll be talking about ELROND mostly because I will be following its day to day, all day, every day, as I've been since 2017. And at this point, I may as well share it with you, as I see other people do with these YouTube channels. You know, I'm going to learn this whole part of it. You know, I've been busy with other things, so I don't really dedicate my whole life to social media. But I will be perfecting this so that I can have a video loaded enough to update you as I'm becoming updated with what's going on. And I was listening to one video where a guy said now is the perfect time that if you are coming out of Ethereum into ELROND to wait, because Ethereum is due for a pump, which I was thinking that that's a good way to move, because I believe ELROND, okay, could catch it right at its moment where it's at now after the pump of Ethereum. So that makes a good sense, and I'm gonna be looking towards that to be the case. But I definitely want to get solidified in the ELROND community. And I think what it has to offer the world is about to make everything so convenient. Within one-stop shop, you can handle so many things that you could not handle before, and you don't have to go wait in a line or do this or do that. You just have to have a phone. And everybody makes sure they have a phone. So, you know, and if they don't have a phone, you know, there's so many programs, well, so many ways you can get a phone, as long as they can download an app. You know what I mean? I think phones are priced now where you can get the, you know, the $20 phone, you know, USD, and get a phone that could download an app. And you can be able to say, you know what, from where I'm at, I'm able to bank, I'm able to save, I'm able to do the things that I need to do, you know, so that you can elevate yourself in this new financial sector, which is now controlled by blockchain technology. And I've been seeing it coming, and now the world is seeing how it will make it a better place for us to operate. So I'm gonna end it at that. And I'll be updating on ELROND. Like and subscribe if it's something. I know it's some things you should want to be abreast to. Sometimes I get long-winded, but I'll try to get straight to the point, and I'll tell you the things that, you know, I think is significant in my decision-making process when I hear something about a company, and I've been around the companies that done a lot of whole running, and this one doesn't measure to be that type of company. The background of these guys are solid, and I don't think they're not going to be wanting to. They're not going to want to be known for something like that. So, you know, you can eliminate that factor. The thing is, they can afford to get the right technology done the right way. The developers are seeing potential of a long withstanding career where they can actually now teach, bring on more developers, and retire. I think that's going to be the new ecosystem for transactions. And once that happens, like they say, entering into a multi-trillion-dollar, you know, because that's where I see their market cap will wind up being. So I'm gonna end it at that. And I'm just saying, it's not financial advice. Just this is the way that I think when I think about which projects I'd like to go into. And I'm gonna follow this project, so I may as well post about it. And thank you for listening in. Please like and subscribe. I'll make sure I try to do my best to get the up-to-date information, the things that you need. Have a great one.